Greetings and salutations. My name is Tish and welcome to the Artist Haven. In this live stream, this is our co-working chill stream. We're going to be working on what we're working on. We're not going to stress out about two things too much, except for one thing. I need your help. YouTube. Peeps, my artist friends here on YouTube. I need help. I need to know, do you like this with the cover or without the cover decoration? Or should I put something different? If you like the cover, if you like this, granted, I'll trim it up and make it, beautified. But if you like this, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, let me know in the comments. Maybe you got a better idea. I'm stumped right now. I really want to use this, but I don't know if it fits the vibe. It kind of does with the whole what's inside of it and all that. The colors are perfect, but I don't know. So help me out. Help a girl out. Thanks. So, with this has been on my, I just finished it and it's been in my brain for the last like 3 hours. Should I leave it on? Should I take it off? Should I leave it on? Should I take it off? Should I leave it on or take it off? I can't decide. So tonight I'm going to be working on tags, and before I dive into it, I want to just kind of go through what you can do for tags. Now, first off, if you have it in your budget, and these are really cool, I forgot to grab them, so I'm grabbing them now. You can get the Ranger craft tags. There is a link in the description for the artists, the Painted Raven. It's the Painted Raven and the Artist Haven. We rhyme. But they have them on their website, in their shop, and you can get a discount. There's a discount in the link of this video. So if you have the finances for this, cool. If not, I'm going to be going through and making more tags from different things. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, you can use file folders. I got these at the thrift stores. I always check out their office supplies because hanging file folders, regular file folders, you can get them at Dollar Tree, $1.25 for 8, and these are $1.25 for 6 for the colored ones. So you've got that option. And then you have you can use scraps of your cardstock that you have. Let's put all this together. There we go. So you can use scraps of your cardstock or use a full sheet. We're going to do kind of both. I'm going to be live for about 90 minutes, so we'll see how many we can get done. The other thing you can use is, this is mixed media paper. I do believe, yes, this is the mixed media paper. I took it out of the binder because the binder was getting mangled. So I'm going to make some tags because I love the squares on the side. So I'm going to cut them down and we're just going to make some tags out of that. Now I have coffee dyed cardstock. So this is cardstock. Get it at Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco, 110 pound. Throw some coffee at it and Bob's your uncle. There you go. Now, this is cardstock that I don't love. It's green. I mean, it's cool green, but I don't usually use this kind of stuff in my journals or any of my art. So I collaged on the cardstock and then did some fun stuff to it. So when we cut it up, this is probably the easiest way to do it. You can use cereal boxes, boxes of the cracker boxes and things like that. So don't be afraid to experiment. As long as it's got some weight to it, you don't want to use like 20-pound paper. Unless you like glue stacks of it together, which would be cool, especially if you could like layer them up. I don't know. Anyway, where there's a will, there is a way. So I'm just going to go ahead and start in. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. If this is your first time here, make sure to say hi so I can welcome you properly. All right, we're going to turn the music on that's already in progress. And I'm going to mute my microphone and just jam to the vibe and get some stuff done. Hey, Catherine. I hit the wrong button. I hit the mute my button and the mute the music button and not the mute the other button. I am glad you popped in. Let's see. I'm just making tags tonight. I'm not doing anything too fancy. Let's do 2.5. Because this goes up, yeah, 2.5. So, what kind of things are you putting in your junk journals? I'm curious. I want to know what people do, because not that I run out of ideas, because I have more ideas than you can shake a stick at. But sometimes it all comes into one big jumbled mess. Like I have all the ideas, and then I can't use them all, and then they go away, and then they come back, and then they go away, and then it's just like chaos and craziness in my head. Yes, these are masterboards. I made them on some old cardstock that I didn't like the color of. It wasn't my cup of tea. So let's do 2.5. Make some short ones. This is a punch that I got at the store that shall not be named. I don't normally name stores except for the Painted Raven, just because people are weird. Companies are weird. What if you say something about their company and they don't like it? And, you know, it's like, I think I'll just, you know, that's not going to fit in there. So we got to shave a little off. Shave a little off. Probably the side I just glued, but that's okay. There we go. Oh, it was working. Okay. I just didn't have it lined up right. There we go. Golly, that one's a hard one. Yeah, see, I just need to learn how to function, I guess. Let's do it this way. There we go. I'm gonna put these in there. Wait. Yeah, let's just do it this way. There we go. Let's do this one. There we go. Woofda. That's a workout. I tried to get. Oh yeah, I have a ton of old books that I got for free at at a garage sale, but some of them are so cute. I don't know if I want to take them apart. Like they're like fairy. This one is like a fairy tale book, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to take this one apart. All right, so let's do this one. Excuse me. So let's go right about there. And I didn't do a very good job when I was making these masterboards. I had paper going over the edges all over the place, and some of it didn't go all the way to the edge. So we're just gonna rock it. I'm gonna trim off the extra paper here. So let's do 3.5. Let's trim off the extra paper here. Let's Oh, I like that side. That's a really cool side. Okay. There we go. Let's trim off the excess. Oh, I'm gonna go a little bit further down. Come on, there we go. Wow, that's a blessing to have an aunt that gives you stuff like that. That's so awesome. I find a lot of my stuff at thrift stores though, so it's kind of like having an aunt, kind of like, and having to pay shipping. I guess that's the way I can justify it, right? Excuse me. I'm gonna grab my little oval punch here as well, and my bigger. I wish I knew what happened to my other punch. I can't find I've got my 1.5 inch circle punch. I found my I think it's 1 inch circle. Maybe it's 3/4 inch circle. So I found that, but it's like, I don't know what happened. I'm hesitant to buy punches because I do have, like, I almost didn't buy a die cut machine because I do have dies still. But I was like, I have a silhouette and a Cricut, but I found that the silhouette doesn't, and the Cricut both, neither one of them are real good at super fine lines and stuff. So that's why I have the die cutter, and I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace for dies, but people like want the same price as new, and I'm like, I don't think so. Oh, let's do this right here. And then I'll fold this one this way. Actually, I don't know if that's going to work, because I don't think the mouth of my, well, let's just do it this way. We could do it. We can do it. Let's do 4.5. And then, so I think this will fit. So I try and eyeball it the right distance, but it's kind of hard sometimes. There we go. I err on the side of being like, I can cut it, like measure and measure and cut. So there's those. So let's do those again. This time I wanna mark. I want to figure something out here. Let's see how far the paper needs to be in. Flip the screen, I know. The software I used to use allowed me to bring guests on. I haven't quite figured it out with the new software. This is a lot more inexpensive, and I can do a lot more with it. It's more like I have more controls over things. So I've been slowly learning all the things. So let's see. That's the top of the circle, right? Or the oval, I guess. Yeah, that's the top of the oval. So it's 2 1/4. So if we want 2 1/4 and 2 1/4 is 4.5. So 4.5. Right? Yeah. Okay. So 4.5. There we go. Well, it would probably be easier to get your scoreboard out, Tish. Jeez, get with the program. I agree about the price. I am near Atlanta, so we have thrift store just for artists and craftsmen. We have one here in Austin too. Right? Let's see. So 2 3/4, right? Because there's 2. Oh, my Lanta. My brain is just. Two 1/4 plus 1/4 is 2 1/2. Plus another 1/4 is 2 3/4. So we're going to score this 2 3/4, and then score this at 2 3/4. I will only be able to get 1 out of here. Boo hiss. I thought maybe, just maybe, but you know what? It'll be fine. Okay. So we'll line these up. There we go. Now, let's do 5, and whatever this is. Okay. And I'm going to write down at the bottom. Because that looks about right. I'm going to have to trim it, but that looks about right. I don't know why this one looks so much better, but. So we can put a tag inside the tag. Okay. So we got all these that we can fill up now. And I'll make one out so you can see how I do it. All right, let's trim this down. 2 1/2. There we go. Okay. Excuse me. All right. We'll put these back in our stash. I think the small one. Nope, it doesn't fit. I thought it would. It's okay. I can make them smaller. I can do that. I have the power. All right, let's do these ones. Do one at a time, and we're gonna do these at 3 1/2. All right, where's Vicini? Here he is. So I think if we just round the corners, And then when we're coffee dyeing or when we're spraying inks, we just throw a tag in there. I think that'll look cool. We'll do a couple at 3.5, a couple at 3. Oh, just around the corners on this one. Oh, yeah. Let's get this out of the way. Let's try. I'm gonna coffee dye these real quick. So we can kind of see what it's gonna look like. There's one. Okay, now I need a drink of water. Ugh. I'm just kind of shooting it off to the side here. There we go. But it still manages, even though I keep my mouth shut, yeah, me keeping my mouth shut, I still get it in my mouth. Ugh, hang on a second, I'm gonna get a drink of water. Okay, that's much better. It's not really water, it's cranberry juice and orange juice and water. And kind of do a concoction like that. So it helps get weird tastes out of my mouth. Okay, so that I'm gonna put over there. These ones, what are these? These are just a hair too big, so I'll put those over there. Because how big are these? 6. So we'll do a couple more at 3. I want to do like a couple 4-inch ones. Well, I think 4-inch might be too big because my pockets are usually 4 inches. So let's do 2.5. 2 3/4. I think that's as small as I want to go. Let's do a couple more at 3.5. They're 3 3/4. There we go. And that should be, yeah, that one we can punch. Oh, for eco dyeing, I have done all of those. I don't. We're just 2 people living in this house, so we don't go through a lot of onions. So I have red onion peel in the freezer. The yellow onion I just throw in the compost, and then I've done, I haven't done cabbage yet. I have done avocado, coffee, tea. I've made rust water before and done that before. That's fun. You take steel wool and vinegar and it just regular white vinegar, and it does some really cool stuff. Well, this one is just not cooperating. And I do the peels and the pits. I do the whole, I throw it whenever we have avocados, which is rarely now because it's like $8 a bag. But whenever we had avocados, I would put the peels and the pits in the freezer, and then just when I have a big gallon size bag, I throw them all in a pot of water. And I want to experiment and put like vinegar in it. And see what happens with that. So I'm going to fold these two in half. So it's like a little note card. Maybe. There we go. Let's try it this way. Maybe I'll have better luck. So you're in Atlanta. So you are in the city of near Atlanta, which is the city of Dragon Con. I've been to Atlanta 3 or 4 times now because I've gone to Dragon Con. Let's do a little round on these corners. Let's fold this one in half too. That's kind of fun, folding them in half. So next time I get my dyes out, my spray stains, or I mean, we could probably do a few. These are mixed media. That's fun. That's fun. So these two are ready to go. Have something fun done to them. Okay, what's next? What's next? This is the fun part for me, is like all the cutting and then making shapes. And we're gonna do one at 3 3/4 again, so we can do another one of those folded ones. Oops. Okay, where did it go? There it is. Let's punch this. We get so violent. Punches and stabbing it with an ice pick. Pokey tools. Boo-boo tape. Just think if some non-artist were to ever come into my studio, they'd be like, what is all of this? What kind of deranged lunatic are you? I'm not a lunatic, I'm an artist. Oh, you're 20 minutes from downtown. Cool. You couldn't pay me enough to get on the MARTA, though. I'm not a big public transportation person because I had to ride the bus to work for a spell. And nope, not anymore. All right, what do we got here? we've got 4 1/4. So let's do 2 1/4. And I'm going to punch this. That. I don't know if you watch the Tim Holtz lives on Saturday mornings. I usually watch the replay because I go live at 12:30 Central. Just because it's after I watch Nick Nimmin and his brother Dee. And they talk about YouTube content creation. And they're both amazing humans. I adore them. But I go live after that because I'm usually pumped up and ready to rock and roll and be all excited. But they were doing embossing, or was it mediums or embossing powder? I can't remember which one it was. But there was this one, it must have been embossing powder. Because there was this one where it embosses matte and you can't over emboss it, and it was really cool. He did this like chalk thing and I'm like, oh, I need to get some of that. So I'm gonna talk to Stephanie when I remember. Maybe I should text her. That's usually when I remember, is when we're not in the same room. I love doing hack videos. I think there's some ones that I'm gonna come up with after all these live streams. I'm going to Vid Summit the first week of October. So after I get back, I think we're going, I don't know. My last recollection is we were supposed to go out to Big Bend. My partner in shenanigans is an astrophotographer and he wants to go out there, so I think we're gonna go out there. But after I get back, I'm gonna start doing more live streams and stuff, but also edit videos. I recorded all of my videos all the live streams that I've been doing the last month, and I'm making a recap with like a voiceover. I'm going to fast forward through the footage, and I've edited it down, and so there will be more of that kind of stuff. I want to do on Discord. I don't do Facebook anymore. I mean, I go on there for Marketplace and that's about it. Just because it's so chock full of ads, it's kind of sad. But and I have ADHD, so I have to have an ad-free experience because it's like, oh, it's shiny, and I'm like, oh, I'm here for Marketplace, not to watch, thrift store hacks and whatever, but if you're on Discord, if you even know what Discord is, people say it's for gamers, but I'm not a gamer, and I technically am, I guess. I play video games, but I'm a part of several groups that have nothing to do with gaming. I mean, other than like YouTube. I mean, that's probably as close as they get, because they are YouTube, knowing stuff about YouTube. So let's do this at 3. And I'm going to do these ones square, or I'm gonna crop the corners. There we go. I'll get my, is it in here or is it in my drawer? I think it's in my drawer. Maybe. I have them. I don't know where they went. This will work. I just need something so I can not have to grab this little triangle and try and cut them at the same time. You know what one of my favorite hacks is using thinning shears. People don't even think about it. Using thinning shears to give like a raggy feel. So this to me is, I wish I just had a corner chomper that just did this for me. Because this drives me a little crazy. There. That looks good though. Let's get this, let's do small rounded edges. Now I make these longer because I can always cut them off and re-round the corners. Oh, this one's ready to go. Let's put that in that pile. I wonder if I can do 3 at a time. You know what? I bet you if I binder clip it, I can. Let me grab one of my little mini binder clips. Oh, there might be some kind of moderation going on. YouTube sometimes notices when you're live streaming, and it does a slightly heavier thing. Or I have a 30-second mod thing going on, so that way if there's a lot of spam, they're not just boom, 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 boom. I've had it happen more than once. That 30-second delay is really helpful. Let's see, what was I grabbing? My bigger scissors, that's what I was grabbing, because these little guys are not gonna cut it. A lot of Victorian stuff right now. Oh, that'd be so cool. I think the oldest book I ever got was from like 1885 or so. So I don't know how old that makes it. I suppose that's 150. I think that's the one fairy tale book I have. Oh, I have this book, the Shakespeare book, that was published in 1883 or something. It's pretty cool. It's falling apart, like literally falling apart. Otherwise, I wouldn't even consider using it for junk journals, but I'm going to scan some of the pages though, so that way I can share it, because that's the cool thing I like doing is like when I'll go and I'll surf the internet and I'll find, you know, copyright free, you know, what is it called, public domain stuff. I'll download it, I'll go in, I'll remove some of the graininess, I'll edit it, and then I give it to you guys, you know, because bless their hearts, sometimes they don't do the best scan job or the best photo job, and so it gets modulated, I guess, for lack of a better term. All right, let's do this green one. Let's do, I don't want to need to do another black one, so let's put that piece of black back there. Maybe if my arm will reach. There we go. I'll do a craft one. Ivory one and a gray one. That should be good. See, I use the ones that got kind of junkied up, like this has some smudge on it. This one has some wrinkles in it. It got jammed in the container or something. So I love how 12 by 12 paper is always different depending on where you buy it from. So we're gonna do 3. Okay, that's not gonna work. That's too much for my poor little cutter. So if I was on the big cutter, it'd be no problem. Let's line this back up. So we were gonna do 3, but okay. One at a time, one at a time, so I can fix my boo-boo. It's just, come on, there we go. So there's 3. That's 4, so we can do 3.5. There we go. And then we're supposed to get the garage insulated this month, I hope. Because then, let's do 4. Because then I can work down in the garage. This is some really cool paper. I got this at a thrift store. It's got a really good texture to it. And then we're going to take this one and do small. Do I use tickets much? I have ticket stamps, but I don't have tickets. And I'm actually going to do a live stream probably next month. I guess it's almost next month already. It's like the 25th or 26th or 27th, somewhere in there. I think it's the 26th. Anyway, I'm gonna do some wax seals, and then I'm gonna do the kind of DIY tickets. But I'm gonna print them out. I'm gonna design them so they're printables. So you can print them off on ivory cardstock. They'll just be black and white. So you can put them on, you know, on other paper, you know, cut it so it's 8.5 or 11 by 14, or 11 by, you know, 13, because most printers can do 11 by, or 8.5 by 14. That's what I meant to say. So you do 8.5 by 12. With your cards, with your printer, with your scrapbook paper. Goodness sakes, brain. So that way you can print on the white side and then cut them out of you know, of paper like that. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so let's put that there. Wait, let's make sure, do we see? I would, you know, I've been looking for, like, ironically, I used to work for a company that, you know, those paper rolls that you put on coins? Yeah, I used to work for a company that did that. And the only reason why I don't work for them anymore is because they wanted me to be at the business 5 minutes early, or 15 minutes early, so I can get up to date of what's going on. And I said, well, am I getting compensated for that? And they're like, no. And I said, well, that's illegal. You are supposed to pay people for when they're here. If they happen to get injured while they're here and they're not on the clock, that is going to get you in a lot of trouble. And this was heavy machinery stuff, you know, printers and stuff. And she's like, who are you to tell me what to do? And I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to, you know, keep you from getting your butt handed to you by the state. But, you know, I just try to be helpful that way, because it's not that I'm lazy. But if I'm going to come in 15 minutes early and take 15 minutes of my personal time every day, so over the course of the week, that's an hour and 15 minutes of my life. No. I love to work for other people and help other people grow, but This is a really pretty green. I have like 2 more pieces of this, so I'm kind of using it sparingly. But I found, I've kind of come to the foregone conclusion that you can't hoard stuff, because if you try and hoard stuff, it just never gets used, because then you forget about it. At least I do. I don't have the best memory sometimes. Okay, make sure that we have it going the right way here. The 900-pound thing that happened. There's a dot right in the middle of all that. There's a gold splatter on my monitor, and it happens to be like right where I'm trying to read. Perfect, you moved it. Right? That's a big no-no, even back then. And I told because I worked it was through a temp agency, because I just moved back into town and I hadn't gotten a permanent job, so I was working temp, and I don't mind it, you know, I'm not dumb. And, you know, people think, oh, you're working temp, you don't have 2 brain cells to rub together. It's like, no, I just moved back home, thanks. But so I told the temp company, and they stopped sending people to them, because I told them what they said to me. And I was getting paid like $10 an hour. What's an extra $10 to me? You know, actually, I think I was making more than that. Not much, though. I know it's hot in there all the time, even when it wasn't hot outside, because the printers and all the heavy machinery. Which in the wintertime was great. So I worked there like end of October till right before Christmas. And that's when they got mad at me for not coming 15 minutes early. And I'm like, And I've had other companies do that, and that's why I know that rule. Because I'm like, this can't be right. And then I worked for another company that said you can't punch in more than 3 minutes before the start of your shift if you're full time. And I'm like, well, why? And they said, because then we have to pay you for an extra hour or extra 15 minutes of work, and we're not going to do that. I'm like, okay. Didn't know that. Did some research, found out it was federal law. And I'm like, All those years that I worked, it's like, damn. All right, let's cut this one off already. I don't know. I don't remember that case though. I'm sorry. I mean, I was alive in the 80s, but I don't really remember it all that well. Let's do this 2.5. All right. Why does that look so crooked to me? Is that crooked? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, ma'am. That's why it looks crooked to you. Because it is crooked. There we go. Just a hair. But it is. All right. Really? I won't ask what kind of business it was, but that's not my business to know that. But I'm appalled at some people's behavior. It's like, we learned everything we needed to know in kindergarten. You know? Like, for real. Like, be nice to one another, you know, be nice to one another, clean up your mess, wash your hands, you know, our basic colors, and learning how to read. You know, I don't understand why it's so hard for some people to be so mean to each other, or to be, you know, how people can be so mean to each other. That's what I mean to say. It just perplexes me. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever read the descriptions of my video, but I have the 1-800 number for the National Suicide Hotline, and I have one for the UK, and I have one for Australia, I have the one for Canada. If I had the numbers for all the other countries, I would put it in there, because I am a firm believer that we just need to be kind to one another, because we don't know what anybody else is going through. We don't know, you know, so much about each other, and yet we treat each other like complete garbage, and it just hurts my heart. And I'm an emotional person, and I'm logical, and I know there's a way that you can make money being a business and still be good to people. You don't have to be garbage. You don't have to be an asshole, just for the simple fact. I don't know how else to plainly put it. Because jerk is not enough. It does not go deep enough. Okay, yep, no, I know what you're talking about. The sad thing is it's so predatory. I mean, not just the business, but the fact that the business is predatory. I worked at a gentleman's club as a bartender, so I get it. I got good tips, and that's the only reason why I didn't worry about my hourly wage. I only worked there for a few months too. It was too much strain because I had children, but they were with their dad for the summer, or for part of the summer, and so I made some extra money doing that, and it was great. Had Christmas money. Got to actually get my kids Christmas presents. But yeah, you bartend, anything. I mean, food service and retail, they treat you like trash. It's like, look, if I'm, you know, if I'm not doing my job right, not only are you going to have a lot more shrink because people are going to steal stuff, because they do. Best theft prevention is customer service. I'll die on that mountain. Wow. You know, good for you. Good for you. I have zero judgment on you. And I hope anybody who is worth any kind of humanity doesn't have any kind of judgment against you either, because that's not our job, right? We're here to love each other, take care of each other, and if you're getting paid, then that, I'm all for it, man. I mean, it's just talk. It's not like you're actually breaking any vows or doing anything like that. You know, I don't know how else to explain it without getting tagged from YouTube. Your content is inappropriate. I mean, I have a friend of mine that has an OnlyFans account. I'm like, more power to you, dude. There we go. Did we get the corners on these? No. I had 20 more minutes to try and powerhouse through some more of these because I need to make tags so I can finish the journals, because come September 1st, I'm hoping to have them all listed on Ko-Fi. So I want to have them all done. I want to do a flip through and I'll do a flip through and then put it on YouTube as a short, and then I can connect it to the Ko-Fi. So actually, what are we doing here? Come on, Tish. Squish, squish, pudding head. Let's just do it this way. There we go. Works for me. So excuse me, 3 1/4. Let's get that head cleaned up a little bit. Just do 2 1/2. There we go. You know, it's funny that you mentioned Frida. Stephanie at the Painted Raven is like a huge fan. Like she's been to the Museum of Mexico. I think she, her and her sister went to New York so they could go, I think it was New York so they could watch Wicked, and then they went to Washington, D.C. and saw the exhibit there. And yeah, she said it was amazing. I think that was what they did. I just know they went to New York and Washington, D.C. I don't remember. But she had her bath. If you ever come down to Austin, make a trip to Elgin. It's worth the drive. It's a cute town, really good food all over the place. But the Painted Raven, her bathroom is a Frida room. Like everything in there is Frida, and it's just so stinking cute. So no, you're not. Don't worry about it. You're the black sheep of your family. I am the black sheep of the black sheep. How's that? My dad was the black sheep, and I am the black sheep of the rest of his relations. So I get that. Is this gonna fit in there? Maybe. Well, I have kids, but my kids are all grown. My baby is 22. He's 22, which is hard to say. He's not really a baby anymore, is he? But, so I got an RV in 2023, and I had planned on traveling the United States because as a child we never went on summer vacations, and if we did, it was just to the state park that was in the next town over. That was our traveling adventure. So I've always wanted to see the United States. I get why people want to travel the world, but there's just so many cool things to see here that I'd rather do that. Let's see, let's leave this long. Let's leave these long, because we can fold them up and do cool stuff with them. So, like, I've never been to the East Coast other than New York State. I went to Niagara Falls in 2002. I think it was, yes. And that was cool. I've been to Canada more than once. I mean, I lived in Minnesota. It's not that big of a deal to go to Canada. It never used to be. Now you got to have a passport, and it's like, why should I get a passport if you know? So I'm not going to leave the continent, but you know, it is what it is. That one didn't punch right. On both sides of the, well, yeah. Well, my mother's side of the family won't talk to me because they're convinced that I'm a drug addict and all kinds of weird things, because that's what my mother has told them, apparently. Never done drugs in my life. Not accusing anybody of anything. You know, if that's your bag, that's your bag. It's not mine. I like a drink now and again. That's about it. Oh, and I vape because nicotine is like medicine to me right now. It's what's keeping me sane. Get back up there. Okay, I'm gonna set that there. How am I gonna do this? This has some texture to it. I'm okay. We can run it through the texture mat. So let's do, how big is that texture mat? Hang on, I gotta look. Because I think this would look really cool. I've got a couple of texture mats, but this is the one that I'm thinking of. So I need more of these little pockets. I don't have a lot of these things. I borrowed my, I had a little like little, what are they called? Die press thing. And I borrowed it to a friend and I never got it back. I saw these at Michael's and I vowed that I'd get another one. And I did. Where's my... I want to go to Graceland just because, I mean, I want to go to Graceland and Dollywood. I know, I'm that nerd. So 5.5. By 4.5. So if we do 5.5, okay. We're not going to do that tonight, but I'm going to cut them and make them ready. So 5.5. Because this part is, oh, that piece isn't really all that great. Let's see. These are better. So we'll do 3. What's this? Good enough. Okay, those 2. And this is for the embossing folder. And then two, 3. And let's do 2.5. And then this should be, no, I'll just run it through as it is. So these 2 pieces will go in that embossing folder when I get a moment. I get that. If I were to be able to travel anywhere, like just because, you know, I have the money or I'm working remotely or whatever, I would love to go to the Netherlands and Ireland because I'm Irish and I just have always wanted to see, I've always wanted to see the windmills and all the things. And I have a friend of mine that lives over there, and I have a mutual acquaintances that live there. So I wouldn't be hurting too much for people. Like I can have someone as a contact there, so I can go do my own thing, but if I disappear or if I get in trouble, you know, my car breaks down or something like that. But then again, it'd be a rental car. But you know, everybody bicycles over there. Maybe I get a bicycle and start training for the marathon across the Netherlands. I actually met a couple of guys that biked across the United States, and they were from Netherlands. So That was kind of cool. That was back in 2000. I want to say 2009. No. That was 2012. Because that was after culinary school. I'm not good with languages. I give you kudos if you can pick up new languages. I cannot. I like American Sign Language because to me it's like learning, it's like dance. It's so expressive and beautiful and I love it. That's probably the only language I could ever be fluent in other than English and sarcasm. So. All right. I want to get some of those red ones made. I think we got through all the cardstock that I wanted to get through. What size is this? I don't have any gray one. Let's cut this at 2.5. Wait, that is 2.5. No, let's do 2.5. So that way we can use the paper punch. All right, I need a drink of water though, because the fan blows at the back of my head, but it kind of like, I don't know, it dries my mouth out really quickly. So let me grab a drink of my juice. Well, at least I didn't spill it this time. Okay, what was I doing? That was 2.5. Yeah. So we're gonna get some file folders out now after I punch this guy. That sounded bad. After I punch this guy. Let's make this one fairly long. There we go. And small. Oops. Oh, Indiana State University in Bloomington. I don't know where Bloomington is at relationship, in relation to the town. I do know. I drove through Indiana multiple times in different parts, but I never lived there or spent any major amount of time there. What is the name of that town that we used to go to? Evansville. I think it's Evansville, Indiana. There was a college there, but I don't remember what college it was. This is a long time ago. Not that long ago, but long enough for me not to remember. So I want to do for sure these red ones, at least one of the blue ones and the gray ones, because I love this red. I think the red is going to be so pretty. And these are nice Smeed folders, So what we're gonna do, because we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do dual purpose here. So we're gonna cut this at 5.5, maybe. Okay, let's do 5.25, like that. Okay, and then this is gonna be made into a folio that we can put in our journal. So let's do that with all these red ones. I have more of the red ones too. I just took the ones with the center tabs out because I don't use those in anything. So usually if I turn a folder into an insert or something, I use the top tab or the bottom tab, just because I like to have it poke out amongst the other papers. So now we've got, oh, this is so cool. I forgot I had these. See, this is why we don't hoard things. Evansville's pretty far. Okay. I'm hoping next spring to kind of do a tour of the United States, sort of. I want to get up to North Dakota because I have someone I need to meet there. We were going to go this year, but funds are not available for that long of a trip. Going to Dallas is not that far. We have people we can stay with. We have, okay, this has staples in it. Let's remove these staples so I don't accidentally cut into them. There's my staple guy. Here he is. This is probably my favorite tool because you can use it on other things too. With staples, it works really great. And if someone makes you mad, you can pinch them with it. Kidding, kidding. I would never do that because strawberry jam. So let's do this, this. Okay, that one goes there. And this one. I have a couple more of these as well. We need to go back. There's a thrift store in Georgetown, which is it's a solid hour drive from here. But I love going there. It is just a beautiful store and it's clean. So we're going to take this one, we're going to cut it here. Like that. Cut this one here. Like that. And then we're just going to use the large corner rounder and round all the corners. And then we'll take a tag and put it on top after because we're going to probably stamp these. Probably not tonight, but now that I have a whole kit and caboodle of them. Let's see, where are we at with this? Let's do 2.5. Because that'll get us right where we need to be. Boop. It's funny, I can hear it popping in the, because I have headphones that I usually, if there's no one in the chat to chat with, I usually just crank the tunes, and so I had it in the background. Oh, that can't go in that one. Have it behind me because I took them off when I'm talking because I can't handle the sound of my own voice. So we're going to cut this off right here. And we're going to leave that there like that. And would I grab this? I didn't want to grab that. I wanted to grab this. I'm going to do mediums. Well, I bought the RV, but life got lifey, and I haven't been able to utilize it like I would like to. I'm actually petrified to drive it. I drove it from Michigan to Illinois and then Illinois to Texas, so I know I can do it, but I'm like petrified, and I don't know why. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but that's just my life right now. Excuse me. Okay, we're just gonna put that there. We'll cut a whole bunch of them at one time. All right, so this one we're gonna cut right here. Just small. I'm gonna do the same thing with this side. There we go. And then let's cut this at 2.5. So we can use this guy. It's, for me, I used to drive a 27-foot step truck. So this one's 35 feet. It's a little bit longer. It doesn't bother me to drive it. I almost, on the ride from Michigan to Illinois, I almost got ran off the road by a semi that was going way, way, way too fast. But other than that, I'm a big guy, you know. I go as fast as I want to go, and y'all just hush your mush. I don't have a problem driving it at all. And I'm from Minnesota, so driving in weather doesn't bother me. It's just right, you know, drive for the conditions. Don't drive for anybody else. And, you know, I don't know. Okay, so this is under 4, and that's under 4. So this is just a big old square. Let's just cut it off right about there. There is a mermaid journal that I'm going to be doing starting on Friday. So instead of doing live streams every day, a journal a day, we're going to do a journal in a week. Because I ain't got time for that anymore. But my house is a disaster area. I mean, it's not dirty, but it's just unorganized. And I don't like things when they're unorganized. But I thought these would be cute for in that journal. The teal. But we're going to do an element every day, and then at the end of the week, we'll put the finishing touches on it and do a flip through and all that. So oops, let's do this, turn it over. Right? Us Northerners know how to drive. These people down here in Texas, I don't know about them. My grandma always used to tell me, don't drive faster than your guardian angel could fly. So, and sometimes I think I had to remind her of that. Grams, I think you're driving faster than your angel can fly. Because my grandmother had a lead foot. She was great though. Let's see. Excuse me. I'll be happy when it starts to get cold and all the pollinators go in hibernation. That'll be my happy day. And then I can work outside again without wanting to die. Because, you know, breathing's nice. I like breathing. And I'm grateful that I get to do that every day. I don't have to have any health concerns with it. I'm grateful for what I have. Not much, it's not much, but it's mine and I'm happy. Okay. I'm gonna finish up these red ones. Let's just do this gray one. Actually, you know what we're gonna do, since we have enough of these red ones, we can do this. Let's take that off. We're gonna save this though, because that's really cool. And do that with that and that, and this, and these two. Okay. Oh, what's this? I don't know what that was. Okay, whatever. This one, we're just gonna cut that one off because that one is just, it's gonna cut him off right there. Like that. Because there's nothing left of him. He can go in the bin and be made into paper clay. All right, so I'm gonna trim this little bit off. Wow, that actually went into that too. That's okay. We'll work with it. We'll make it happen. Okay. And then let's make this one 6.5. Actually, let's cut that off right where it gets kind of wonky, right there. Okay. Right about there. So what's that? 4.5. Cool. And then we can put something on the edge there, or we can put a tag on it this way or something. Not a tag, yeah, tab. There we go. We're making tags. And then on tomorrow night, we're going to be making master boards so they can dry, and I can make more tags and pockets and stuff, because some of them, of the pockets and stuff that I have, are not exactly what I want. So we're gonna make this, let's do this way. Let's make this, this is 2 inches. So let's do 1.5. Oh, that's 1 3/4. That'll be perfect. And then we can add this on to a page or something. Okay. So we'll do these other 2 like that. My take on glues, or adhesives as I like to call them, because sometimes glue is not glue. Sometimes, like matte medium is technically not a glue, and technically it's not an adhesive either, but well, it's more of an adhesive, but it's more of a finishing agent is what it's supposed to be. But I like matte medium. If I could use matte medium, if I could afford to buy matte medium and use it on all the things, I would. You know, the collage medium is great because it's in a little bottle and I love it. But in fact, tomorrow when we do master boards, I'm going to use matte medium because I'm that girl. So, but everything has its purpose, if that makes, I mean, like Fabri-Tac you can use to bond fabric to anything, just about. I mean, I've used it to glue fabric to metal, and it's worked. I don't know if it would be washable or wearable, but it worked. Art glitter glue is great for gluing paper to paper, paper to plastic, paper to fabric. Sometimes, depends on the fabric. But if it's like a polyester, works great. If it's cotton and it gets absorbed, not so much. Let's see. Barely Art Glue, not a big fan. It's not, I mean, I have a bottle of it and I've used it a handful of times. It's not my go-to, but it does have a purpose. Someone told me that it can glue vellum. So I have yet to try that. I will try that. But as far as like Elmer's school glue, I try not to stay away from the school glues because they biodegrade. They're made, you know, to be biodegradable, and they break down and whatnot. No judgment, nothing. But I want something that's gonna, if I'm, you know, selling a junk journal, I want it to last longer than 5 minutes. So let's see what we're at with this one. That's 2.5. Groovy. Let's use this guy. Nope, not that guy. What am I doing? Losing your brain. Let's put that away. So, if I'm going to use just a regular PVA, I use this glue. It's a little on the expensive side, but it's pH neutral. It's an archival adhesive. It remains flexible. It's made for bookbinding. It's made for paper projects, and it's archival, and it sticks like crazy. And I might start using it more. I gotta find my needle bottles. Using it more for adhering things that I have time to allow them to dry. Because the thing about art glitter glue is it dries quickly. And I do believe it's just because it has less water in it. There's more binders, less water. So, you know, it is what it is. All right, how big is this guy? Helps if you have your ruler the right way. That's 2.5. That's 2.5. Cool. So I guess it just depends on what you're adhering. If I'm trying to like make something stable, I'll use UV resin. Like there's a project that I'm going to be doing sometime in September. I don't remember when I have it scheduled. I kind of try and schedule out my ideas, but then I change my mind. So it's like, but let's do this way. Give me a moment here. I'm thinking out loud again. And then we're going to punch this one again. But where we're going to use UV glue or UV resin, and it's basically going to be like a glue. So I want to do a folded take on this. I have matte medium. Yeah, we're going to be using, I've got the Liquitex matte medium. Okay, that's not going to work. We got to do the big guy. And then I have another matte medium that I'll probably be using too. We'll just see how they compare. Because I've never put them head to head. So I have some metal ribbon to attach to the front of a journal. I would use either matte medium or the Tim Holtz, what is it called? Collage medium. That stuff I use for metal to metal, metal to plastic, metal to paper, metal, anything metal is what I tend to stick to with it. Right, we're gonna make this one a little shorter. We'll make this a little wee one. Like that. Why does it feel so small? 3.5 bigger? Yeah, 3.5 works better. And then maybe I can get it out. There we go. I'm gonna punch this again, make another folded one. There we go. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. If your budget only allows for Elmer's glue or even the Dollar Tree glue, go for it. Use it. Something's better than nothing. But just keep in mind that it's not going to last as long, you know, as something that you use the more quality adhesives for. And it's setting your expectations, you know, setting realistic expectations is kind of where I'm at. I don't know why I punched that. Okay, we're gonna do This is the last one I'm gonna do because I'm hungry. I had some overnight oats, or overday oats, I guess you'd say. And they filled me up, but now I'm hungry again, and I have some leftover sweet and sour chicken down in the refrigerator. So that's what I'm gonna have. I'm gonna heat that up. I think. I don't know. There's pizza in there too. Maybe. Mikey might have ate it all. But if you're doing a project and you have a question on whether a glue will work, make a test sample. That's what I usually do. I was working with Tyvek the other day, and I wasn't sure if art glitter glue would glue it. And so I used the PVA glue, and I used the art glitter glue, and they both worked. And I have the sample here somewhere still, because I always like going back a week later and seeing if they peel up, because sometimes you don't know. And as far as glue sticks go, I use the Uhu glue stick. That's my favorite. Like, they'll rip it from my cold dead hand probably when I die in my studio. Eating a chocolate cupcake and drinking a coffee with chicory, because those are my favorite things. So these ones are all done. But I also like these Tomball, the mono glue stick. These ones I like, but they're really, you can get these at the Painted Raven on her website. These are washable, so they get really hard. Like, if you want to fold your project, don't use this. Use the Uhu glue. And I was, okay, so my camera went out earlier today, and I had to like reboot it and do all these things to it, right? So I was looking at the glue stick, because I always use the glue stick to focus on. I stack things up. I hold this about a foot away from my camera, and I should be able to, when I focus, I should be able to read, you know, these sections here. And because I do manual adjustments, because I turn off the autofocus. But I wondered if they really knew that this is a stick. It's sticky like glue, and it's a stick. So, sorry, my weird sense of humor. Just the things that go through my head sometimes. All right, so we didn't get a whole lot finished, but when we make another section, let's move this out of the way. Let's tidy this up a little bit. I need to go have some food, because now I'm salivating thinking about. Even scrambled eggs sound good. I don't know. I'm hungry. I need protein. Maybe that's what I do tomorrow. Make some overnight oats and then make a scrambled egg. Heat up the overnight oats and put the scrambled egg on top. But then I'd have to make like savory oatmeal, which I've done. Okay, so we went through masterboards. So we have all these masterboards. We used mixed media paper and made different size, because we took the binding off of it, and they got these really cool squares. So we've got those. And then we did a variety. These are just regular, this is the notch of the file folder. I just cut it out. I'm like, well, that would be cool tag, you know. We'll round the corners and do all that to that. We got all these to round corners on. These are like little squares. So we've got all of these to round the bottom corners on. And then These ones will probably spray. These ones will probably stamp. We could actually stamp all of them. It doesn't matter. You do you. And I got some little, just some little tags. And we'll decorate them as we need them. Or on another live stream, I'll just sit and we'll just decorate tags. I mean, I'll probably make up a whole bunch more in different colors again, because I've got more cardstock that I think would be good to use to make tags with. I didn't get to but these are the ones that are ready to be like finished, like put ephemera on, put a sealer on. We've got these folded ones, so we can tie them together and stick them in there, and there can be like a little hidden journal spot here or something, you know. So these ones are fun. I like those. But these are all ready to be decorated because they've got all the rounded corners and stuff. So here's some more of those the tab tags, and these are more kind of note card style. That one's kind of crinkled, but I don't really care. I'm going with it. So yeah, more of those. There we go. And then we have some ones that I just kind of notched the sides to. And I'm going to make myself a template. Again, I had one. I think I accidentally threw it out because I'm me. Let's see, these are kind of smaller sided ones. That I had a piece of paper, and then I had it, so it's kind of like one of those, it's based off of a quilting ruler, but it's bigger. It was a piece of cardstock, or not cardstock, chipboard, and I measured the center, like so you'd line it up to the center, and then you measure it here, and then there was a hole that would punch like 1.5 inches down, or you just take your awl and you go tick, and then you could take your hand punch and punch it or whatever. So it was really great and I loved it, but I think I accidentally threw it away. Oops. That's kind of how I live my life though. All right, so let's get these kind of sorted real quick. So we've got, oh, we did do craft ones. Okay. I don't remember doing those. See where my brain's at? I need food. Okay, I'm gonna go get food in a minute. So we got just the angled ones. We'll punch holes in these and put, you know, reinforcements on them if we want to. You know, I kind of like leaving them a little bit more on the blank side, just because it's easier that way when I go to put things in journals, because I don't really have a specific style, really. I mean, I think I do, but not really. So we're gonna do this and this. There, we got some really cool colors this time too. And then we'll gather these up. These up. These were supposed to go in this pile. There we go. That's why that looked off. And there we go. So we got all kinds of fun stuff to choose from. I'm gonna go get some food. And take a hot bath probably, or play some video games just to help my brain unwind. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you spending time with me. It means a lot. We'll be live again tomorrow morning and tomorrow night, so make sure to see see what live streams you can be a part of. If not, there is always going to be the replay. I do not take down my replays usually. I think I've taken down one. If you want to see all the replays that I have from all the live streams that I've done over 800 live streams in the last 6 years. Go to the Artist Haven archive. It's on the home page, and you go scroll down and it'll say Artist Haven live streams, and there's like 800 videos in there. So smorgasbord. Oh, that's right, we have these tags too. So we'll make these up one time, sometime soon. So yeah, I need food. Thanks for joining me. Remember, be kind to one another. Peace, love, and happiness.